Hi, my name is Dr. Suzanne Song. I'm a humanitarian child psychiatrist. I was recently asked to do an interview at Fox5 News about the impacts of remote learning on kids. Schools recently ended and now everyone's thinking about the fall. What should we do in the fall? Are there any lessons we can learn about what happened with remote learning over the past 4 or 5 months to apply to the fall? The impact of remote learning on children is extremely varied. There are some kids who are doing quite well, but most of the kids who are really struggling. It's like a pyramid. So the children of affluent, well-resourced parents, some of them are thriving. They're excelling. They might be promoted faster. They have multimodal forms of media available to them. They have less emotional burden, and so they have more mental capacity, therefore, to be creative, to be engaged in learning. But a large number of children don't even have access to the internet. They don't have parents who have extremely flexible jobs so that they can help them with their schoolwork if needed. We know domestic violence and child abuse have gone up since schools have closed. Children with disabilities who rely on school for treatments and for services. Those low-income children who rely on schools for meals, for shelter. The children who have English as a second language or whose parents aren't fluent in English. They're really struggling right now. Now, myself and my child psychiatry colleagues, many of us have been surprised by some of our child patients who we thought would not do well, but they're actually thriving. So these are kids who are shy, who had a lot of social anxiety, who are bullied at school. They might have had hyperactivity problems. Now they're thriving because they don't have all these distractions of the social scene. Some children also are doing better because there's more flexibility in their schedule. They're waking up at a more reasonable hour. They're allowed to go outside and take breaks throughout the day. They're no longer overscheduled with after-school activities. Families are enjoying more time together, and some parents say, we actually can see if the curriculum is meeting my child's needs. So we can prepare for the fall by making sure we complement learning and not complicate the reality of children's lives right now. It is extremely stressful. And this means we'll have to go towards more individualized education. So we'll need clear mechanisms of feedback, not just on how they're doing educationally, but how are children doing socially, emotionally, through all of this. Teachers need to know. We can support the benefits of remote learning with play, with outdoor breaks, helping children with independence and taking ownership of their own learning, removing the stress of cramming everything in and having standardized tests. Most importantly, we need to care. Right? There was a Harris poll done recently that showed 71% of parents are worried about the impact of the pandemic on children's social development, and more than half report that their children are acting out. Now, we need to recognize that our prefrontal cortex, which is the emotional center of our brain, it's our emotion regulation center, it's not fully developed in children. So when adults are stressed, we have our fight or flight or freeze system. For children, it's acting out or zoning out. So when children are saying that they're really frustrated with this assignment, or they just shut down, don't want to do anything because everything is, quote, boring, we might see that as, oh, this is actually a normal response to a highly stressed environment or situation. When I say care, I don't mean only care about our own children. I mean we care about all children, especially those who are being left behind right now because they're invisible. So we think about the pyramid. It's fine if there are children who are thriving with remote learning. That's great. It's working for them. But if we don't support the foundation of all of the children who are really vulnerable right now, the whole thing crumbles. So we need to address these equity problems head on.